How do young people party? Like what?
Oh my God.
Break it down because people, I'm getting more and more people who are more and more curious about you. Where will you go to dinner and then where will you go out drinking?
We're going to some sushi restaurant where you can apparently book like a private room and play your own music and stuff. So that'll be pretty fun. And then a friend of mine is having a party at some sort of secret location. So I don't really know about that. But I don't know. We go clubbing, we go to house parties. Probably the same shit that you do.
The thing that I found so interesting was the NVIDIA Inference microservice. And it's a subscription software that will help companies deploy their own LLMs. It'll cost about $4,500 per GPU per year. So they'll say, all right, we're moving to a software model. And this answers the question that they're trying to wrestle with every day. How on earth are we, NVIDIA, going to grow into our valuation? And there's two ways to do it. One is the explosive growth of top line and bottom line, right? Their top line growth which should translate to growth in their bottom line, but also the business we're in such that our multiple on those earnings goes up. And the market loves subscription. $1 in profit from a transactional business, non-recurring, just selling the chips, gets X valuation. The dollar you get from subscription services gets 1.5 to 2X. So their attitude is, all right, if we're going to grow our top line by X, if 20 or 30% of that top line growth can be subscription, it's going to expand our natural PE and we can start to grow into this valuation. It's one of the, we have this thing called the T algorithm where we look at the components of $1 trillion company. And this will go into our next story. I think it kind of turned on the landing lights for the IPO market. And, up 72% on I think it was the first trade or when it closed on its first day of trading. That's extraordinary. And that is a really good signal for the IPO markets, specifically the investment banks that make a lot of money and have a whole ecosystem around IPOs.
We're back with Prof G Markets. Reddit finally went public at $34 per share, the top of its expected range. The stock opened at $47 per share, however, and popped as much as 70% in its first day of trading. At its peak on Thursday, the company had a market cap of nearly $11 billion. That's well above its IPO valuation of $6.5 billion, and even surpasses the $10 billion valuation the company received in the private markets back in 2021. Scott, we've been talking about this IPO for a long time now. What do you make of these initial results?
The IPO market is back. I mean, Reddit was in many ways a really important IPO in 2024 because a big recognizable consumer internet company, it's the first social media IPO since Pinterest went public in 2019. And at one point it was up 70%. It closed up 48%. Tomorrow, not even tomorrow, today, a bunch of boards, without even knowing it, have decided that they're going to tell their CEO to file an S1 and that they're going public. You're about to see a dramatic uptick in the IPO business of JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley, because there's a lot of good companies. I mean, you had, I think, something like 330 IPOs in 2021, and 90% of them or 80% of them, because they were SPACs or below their offering price, and the market just felt like it got its eyebrows burned off. And there were only, I think, 70 IPOs last year, which is the last 24 months have been two of the driest years in the world of IPOs in a long, long time. A lot of pent-up demand, a lot of money on the sidelines, a lot of good companies waiting to go public. And these companies dipped their toe in the water, and now they are doing the Mark Spitz like butterfly.
Nice, impersonal, unbiased analysis.